once again in the series of our spatial methodology, that's the collaborative approach of the learning. Our two students are in front of you to describe the topic of the biology, morphology of flowering plants. Welcome to Sneha and Simran. Okay, beta, carry on.
So we are going to study about morphology of flowering plants. So what is morphology? Morphology is the branch of science which deals with the study of external appearance. Now we will move ahead with the topic flower.
The flowers. So the flowers are the modified stem and the reproductive unit of the plant. Modified stem means the stem grow modified and then become the flowers, and reproductive unit means that the flower reproduce and help in the formation of next generation of the plants. If a typical flower has 4 walls, walls are the cluster of cells. The 4 types of walls are the calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. In flowers like lily, the corolla and calyx are not distinct and it is termed as perianth. If a flower has both androecium and gynoecium, it is termed as bisexual, and if a flower has either androecium or gynoecium, it is termed as unisexual. If we talk about the symmetry of a plant, the symmetry is the balanced distribution of different parts of body in an organism. It is of 3 types: actinomorphic, zygomorphic and asymmetry. Actinomorphic, that is the radial symmetry, in which the plants are divided into radial halves by any while the zygomorphic, that is the bilateral symmetry, means when a flower is divided into 2 equal halves in A. And the third is asymmetry, which means irregular, in which if a flower is not divided into any vertical plane by any symmetrical line passing through the center, is known as asymmetry.
Now we will move ahead and we will learn about division of flower on the basis of floral appendages. It is trimerous, tetramerous and pentamerous. So when the number of floral appendages are 3 or it is multiple of 3, then it is trimerous. When it is 4 or multiple of 4, then it is tetramerous, and when it is 5 or multiple of 5, it is pentamerous. अब हम लोग फिर ahead move करेंगे. Now the next topic is bracteate and ebracteate. So first let us learn about what is bracket. Bracket is the reduced leaf present at the base of the pedicel, and those flowers which have brackets are known as bracteate, and those which do not have brackets are known as ebracteate. Location of floral appendages के बेसिस पे देखेंगे कि फ्लावर के कितने डिवीजन्स हैं. सबसे पहले देखते हैं हाइपोगाइनस है, फिर पेरीगाइनस है और फिर epigaynous. Hypogynous, in the case of hypogynous, we will see that the ovary is superior and the floral part is below the ovary. So ovary right over here is known as superior ovary. In the second case, we will see perigynous. In the case of perigynous, mostly all the floral parts and the ovary both are on the same level. So so here ovary is known as semi-inferior or semi-superior. In the case of epigynous, we will see that all the floral parts are located above the ovary. So it is known as, so here ovary is known as completely inferior. Before moving to the parts of the flower, let us learn about one of the most important topic, that is the inflorescence. So arrangement of floral appendages on the floral axis or the main axis is known as inflorescence. As Sneha has told us that flower are modified stems. So how does the stems modify to flower? The apical meristem changes to floral meristem. The internodes stop to elongate and the axis get condensed. And we will see that instead of leaves, different floral parts are produced on the nodes. When the shoot tip is modified, it changes into flower and the flower is solitary. Now if we move ahead to the parts of the flower, parts of the inflorescence, then we will see that it is of 2 types, racemose and cymose. In the case of racemose, we will see that the floral axis or the main axis will continue to grow and it will not stop, and it follow the flower here follow the acropetal order. The acropetal order is simply an order in which the old flower are located at the basal part and the new flower are located on the terminal parts. And if we move ahead to cymose, then in the case of cymose, the main axis stop to grow after period of time, and here the flowers follow basipetal order. In basipetal order, the old flower are located at the terminal portion and the new flowers are located on the basal portion.
Now we will move towards our next topic, that is the part of flowers. The flower mainly contains the four walls named as the calyx, corolla, androsium and gynosium. Now we will talk about the calyx. The calyx is the outermost wall of the plant, and the members are known as sepals. The sepals are the green, leaf-like, and protect the flower at the bud stage. It is of two types. If the sepals are united, they are known as gamosepalous, and if the sepals are free, they are known as polysepalous.
We will talk about another part of flower, that is corolla. Corolla is the colorful petals, and they help in pollination. Usually insects get attracted by its color and help in the process of pollination. Similarly, as we saw in sepal, they are polysepalous and gamosepalous. Petals are also polypetalous and gamopetalous. In the case of polypetalous, the petals are free, and in the case of gamopetalous, they are united. Now we will talk about corolla only. We will talk about estivation. Estivation is the process of arrangement of sepal and petal on the base in respect with the other part of the whorl. So they are of mainly four types. They are valvate, imbricate, twisted, and vexillary. So let's learn about first valvate. Valvate, in this case, the petal or the sepal just touch the marginal part. They do not overlap each other. In the case of twisted, we will see that one petal or sepal overlap the another one, and so on, and it follow a proper pattern. In the case of imbricate, we will see that there is overlapping of petal and sepal, but they do not follow any kind of proper pattern. Now if we move on to the last one, that is the vexillary. We can see this in the pea plant, where the pea plant flower, we will see that there are five petals or sepals. One petal, that is the standard one, that is largest one, that overlaps the two other petals. Those are known as wings, and those two wings overlap the another two petals or sepals. Those are known as keel.
Now we will move toward our next topic, that is androsium. Androsium is composed of stamens, and the stamens, which consist of the male reproductive part, consist of a filament and an anther. The anther is bilobed, and each lobe contains the two chambers known as the pollen sacs. The pollen grains are formed in the pollen sacs. A sterile stamen is known as the staminode. Now, as we know that the stamens are arranged with the other members of the flowers, such as petals, or among themselves. So, when the stamens are arranged with the petals, they are known as epipetalous, and when they are arranged with the perianth, they are known as monoadelphous. When they are united in two bundles, they are known as diadelphous, and when they are arranged in two or more bundles, they are known as polyadelphous.
Reproductive part, and it is composed of carpel. Carpel consists of three parts: style, stigma, and ovary. Ovary is the enlarged basal part, and it consists of a tube-like structure called style, and above the style there is a structure called stigma. Stigma usually receives pollen grain. So now we will learn something about placenta. So placenta is a cushion-like structure, cushion and flattened structure. The funicle connects the ovary with the ovule through a tube-like structure, and the point where they are connected is known as placenta.
Now we will talk about the placentation, that is the arrangement of ovules within the ovary. It is of five types, that is the marginal, axile, parietal, free central, and basal.